Alright. We are back with the third match for GNL Season 18. This time we have another game between Saul's Angels and Moonjuice Moonshiners. So for Moonjuice Moonshiners, in the top right we have ObnoxiousDMG, also known as Mason Johnson. And in the bottom left, for Saul's Angels, we have Dopa playing Undead. These players are around 700 MMR. So let's see what that means these days. Are there gonna be clean builds? Are there gonna be micro mistakes? Are there gonna be unusual build orders? Let's see. So far, relatively standard from both players. Now the big decision coming up will be a hero pick. Early haul of the, Hunter's Haul. Early Hunter's Haul for Obnoxious. It's giving Priestess of the Moon. Could we see an early rush? Dopa scouts with an Acolyte, kills a critter, and yes, indeed, it is a Priestess. Hunter's Haul, of course, required for Huntresses. And the Huntresses, they don't have amazing range, but they are technically ranged, so they benefit from that aura on the bottom. And we have an AP, where is it? Ah, no, sorry, Engine of War. Misread the icon, sorry. Okay, Dopa is scouting. We'll see the Hunters all finishing. But will he read what that means? Will he react? If Death Knight or the Undead player, of course, very standard. Scouting Wisp. Let's see if Obnoxious has spread his wisps across the map like tendrils. Not really. No unusual vision. What are we creeping? Green camp. Very safe, which in this situation is a good play. The bottom goes across the map early. No skill yet. No skill yet. I would expect in this situation, yes, the orb. The fire arrows gives a massive damage boost, enables to pick off enemy units. Skeleton goes down, of course, also a Reap Steel earlier, but Death Knight does have item, or does it? I don't actually see it. Where did the item go? Did I miss something? Did Obnoxious deny the item? Okay, tier 2 on the way. That means Dopa doesn't need any more lumber for the time being. You can go out on the map with the ghouls. No ghoul production. Okay, now he starts ghoul production. Have a ziggurat on the way somewhere. Ah no, it's showing the tower. Sorry. Blizzard overlay has some issues. This is a very ambitious camp to take with just 3 ghouls. I think this could be a very bad idea. Obnoxious dives the Acolytes. He's not afraid of the Undead base because the main is upgrading, which means it does not shoot yet. And yeah, the creeps kill the skeleton, kill the ghoul, and ensnare from the trapper. Thankfully the creeps pull back, but it's a disaster. Massive economic damage. No ghouls. There's no money. Another Newbie will not really be helpful that much. And the damage from the creep camp was critical, and the Death Knight goes down. And Dopa taps out. GG. Very fast pressure, and found the moment of weakness and the mistake from Dopa. So Obnoxious takes early lead, 1-0. or Moonjuice Moonshiners. I'll see you in game 2. Alright. We are back for game 2 of the third GNL Season 18 match. The game is between ObnoxiousDMG for Team Moonjuice Moonshiners and Dopa for Team Saul's Angels. We are on Turtle Rock, a huge 4-player map. This is the loser's pick from the previous game, so this is Dopa's map. It's an interesting choice for Undead. The map is big, so not conducive to rushes, and the expansions are guarded by pretty strong creep camps, so it is hard to fast expand, which usually is considered to be the Undead's plan, but of course Undead can also play one base, and we have seen Death Knight from Dopa in the last game, so we'll see of course if the players stick to their plans. Similarly, last game Obnoxious went for Priestess of the Moon and an early Huntress push, trying to damage Dopa's economy successfully, of course, taking that 1-0 victory. And we see once again the Hunter's Hall, but we don't see a hero. Late hero, or is it going to be a Tavern hero? No, it was a mistake. Of course, these players are 700 MMR, give or take. No mistakes can be made. A little distraction perhaps, maybe thinking about the creep route, or maybe about what to have for dinner by Obnoxious. So the lazy 0 by about, let's see, about 15 seconds. Yeah, about 15 seconds. Of course, that is not ideal if your plan is early aggression. So a little bit of respite for Dopa. Will pull 2 ghouls, only 3 ghouls out. So a little bit suboptimal on the ghoul production, because you can have 4 ghouls out by the time your hero comes out. So that means a little less to work with for the creeping. Goes for the further turtle camp, which is interesting, probably because of the critter, which was about there. Okay, meanwhile the priestess at a large map also means that it's much harder to creepjack. But seems that is not the plan this game, because priestess heads towards the main, gets scared of the undead base layout. I think this is a gap large enough for a hero, so could dive the base if they want it, but chooses not to. Dopa falls back with the hero. I don't think that was necessary. The base is guarded with a Nerubian tower. I don't think that the priestess could really do anything. Instead, now he's trying to fight the priestess and the huntresses, but the ghouls don't have the power for this. Now, a huge mistake by Dopa is not going for tier 2 already. Instead, he built a graveyard, but that was too early. You need tier 2 first. Undead, so important to get tech early. Finally goes back to creeping, which is of course the right choice. Needs level 2 ASAP for that unholy aura. Really strong effect. Almost, I think, gets his camp stolen, but the item... No, he got it. He got it in the end. Double gauntlets of strength. Good items for a Death Knight. 1 ghouls goes down. Second gets healed by a coil to go out of fire arrow range. And Dopa, he's scared after that previous game. Forced to fall back. Finally, tier 2 is on the way. What's the macro behind? For Obnoxious, does not tech, goes for second Agent of War, so he has one plan only, and that is to spam Huntresses. But look at this, a surround, a ghoul surround on the Huntress, needs to TP out, and it's a hero kill for Dopa. early pressure is relieved. With tier 2 on the way, finally he can stop mining lumber and start pulling the ghouls. Gets a surround on the Huntress as well against the tree line. And another surround. Great mechanics by Dopa there on 700 MMR. Knows how to surround properly, which is to spam the move command against the unit that you are trying to surround, because if you only right click or only attack command the units, they will go just enough forward to meet melee range, but melee range is more than you might think. It does not actually envelop the unit properly, whereas the move command will cause the units to pull the noose tighter and tighter and actually get the surround. Okay, Priestess is back on the map. Level 1 heroes respawn very quickly, but this is looking good for Dopa. But once again he goes for the shop camp. This is a strong camp with the Blood Mage. It's really ambitious. I personally wouldn't go for it. Not with just 3 ghouls. And the Huntress susses it out. Is there a wisp nearby? Let's check vision for Obnoxious. No, I don't think there's vision. So this was a little bit of luck for Obnoxious. The DK pulls back. He did get the item. It's a Pendant of Energy. Decent item for a mana-starved hero such as the DK. This is a much better camp, by the way. If you want to go for an early orange, this is what you want to go. This is what you can afford with 3 ghouls and some skeletons and a fiend on the way. But okay, Obnoxious still on tier 1, still committed to just spamming Huntresses. Ooh, nice coil! Level 2 coil. Starts dealing some serious damage here, and of course tier 2 is done. Tier 3 is on the way. We are doing fiend production, slaughterhouse. Now fiends, not really the best unit against Huntresses in terms of attack and armor type, but if you have the numbers you can get away with a lot, and if you get a Lich out as well, it's even better. Now the Lich is a bit late. I think usually it is considered more important to get the Lich out early rather than start building the slaughterhouse or start building tier 3 even. Whereas Dopa delayed the Lich, so it's gonna take a while before have Nova out. Obnoxious starts tier 2 finally. Besides, Huntresses might not cut it. Needs a transition into something. Now this is the challenge of Turtle Rock. There's only 4 green camps on the entire map, so not really any loser camps or safe camps that you can pick to just do something on the map while you're waiting for more power. The Lich comes out, but the Huntresses are in the neighborhood and they decide to click the slaughterhouse. First unit out is a statue nicely rallied inside the base to not come out in the middle of this pack of angry women. Dopa decides to abandon the creep camp, come help defend. Huntress kill. Level 1 Nova, not really doing enough here. I think the best choice you have is the hero focus here. Get rid of the priestess, but she has teleport. The slaughterhouse falls down. Crucial damage. We have tier 3 and we have nothing to do with it because the slaughterhouse is not up. Rebuild instantly, but it will take a minute, literally, for it to come out. Well, hello Schwok. Hello in the chat. Just occurred to me. I don't know if chat is readable. We'll see. Alright, let's go back into the game. No second hero or Obnoxious yet, of course. Tier 2 not ready. Look, we have a battle here. 6 huntresses against 3 fiends and some ghouls. I think this favors the huntresses, even though the supply is rough. But they got stuck on the skeletons. We're not able to focus the fiends. Another coil to kill another huntresses, and suddenly it's looking much better for the undead. This spell on the skeletons is a good play. But another huntress falls down, and Obnoxious just doesn't have the mass of units required to defend this. Look, all the Moonjuice ran out. Obnoxious for Team Moonjuice Moonshiners, but the Moonshine is not there. The liquor store is empty. Nova on the ass of the POTM, and I think this is gonna be game called soon. And yes, indeed, Obnoxious calls GG. And Dopa ties up the series with a much more solid build. It's time for game 3. Alright, we are back for game 3, the decider in the match between Dopa for Team Saul's Angels and Obnoxious for Team Moonjuice Moonshiners. We are on Echo Isles, the loser's pick, which is Obnoxious, who lost the last game, did not manage to seal it with his Huntress aggression. Interesting pick to go Echo Isles as Night Elf, because this map, as you might guess by the name, is full of water. There's all these very inconveniently shallow waters placed next to creep camps, and that means you are not able to Ancient of War creep. Usually Ancient of War creeping is what you want to do as Night Elf. Basically the only camp with a patch of land next to it is this mercenary camp, which is very hard. So it takes a lot of practice to be able to creep that properly. But Obnoxious says, I don't care about your Ancient of War creeping, you freaking nerds. Because look at this, he goes for Hunter's Hall again. The plan worked once, the plan almost worked twice, so why change anything? Goes for Hunter's Hall again, so we will once again see aggression from the Night Elf player. Dopa also sticks to his guns, although, to be fair, the classic undead build is just really solid. You almost never want to play anything else unless you are determined to cheese, like playing Necro Wagon. So it will be once again the same game plan for both players. It comes down to the execution. The first game, crucial mistake by Dopa, caused too much damage, had to tap out very early, but the second game, much better, played much safer, was able to defend against the Huntresses and peel them off with the powerful undead spells. Acolyte Scouts saw the plan once again. No critter was found, so we don't have skeletons yet, so I had to use a coil to kill the ogre early. Nice ensnare from the creeps. Dopa could use this opportunity to get rid of the wisp, but decides to click the creeps instead. Fair. But look at this. The priestess is on the way. Once again goes fire arrow first, looking to steal some creeps or steal some ghouls. Gets the creep kill. Crucial XP missing for the Death Knight, and now clicks the ghoul, but nice coil saves the ghoul just in time, and Dopa decides to retreat back into his base. Much better tier 2 timing this time. No useless early graveyard, so tier 2 is going to be on time. Very nice. But needs to keep building ghouls. You know he's gonna go aggression, you need to match his army. You have 4 ghouls and 2 skeletons on the field. Nice surround attempt, didn't work out. but it's the thought that counts. Forgotten Skeleton, this one is gonna fall quickly. It's a shame. Dopa still trying to take a camp. Wants level 2 desperately. I don't know if you can afford this. The Priestess dives the economy, goes for the Acolytes. And this is huge, because the tier 2 in progress, in the middle of construction, means that it's a terrible cost. Either way, if you cancel, you waste so much time, and then you waste even more time while the Acolyte's rebuilding. If you don't rebuild, it means you're gonna be mining with just 4 Acolytes. Or 3 in this case, because 1 Acolyte is, you know, admiring the trees. You know, maybe starts hugging them eventually. It's popular in some places. Okay, Obnoxious pulls back, satisfied with the damage he's dealt. Death Knight does pick up 1 Huntress Hall. Nice Dust of Appearance purchase, by the way. Who gets the level 2 he was craving, just barely. Look at that. Not an XP extra. So finally we have Undead Aura, which gives you extra movement speed and extra regen. Very, very powerful aura. Not a good coil. You don't want to just coil the hero willy-nilly, because heroes, unlike normal units, have spell resistance. If you play Dota, you know. Although in Dota, it is in fact 25%, whereas in original Warcraft 3 here, it is 30%. So the spells are even less effective against heroes. Tier 2 is done. Graveyard is also ready, so we can start building some proper units. And Lich. I want to see Lich ASAP. Lich goes into the queue, very nice. Of course, ideally you would want Slaughterhouse as well, but can you afford to go for Slaughterhouse? You need army. Where did the Crypt Fiend go? I could swear there was a Crypt Fiend in production. Crypt Fiend would be useful. Just to get a little bit of ranged damage as well. Ooh! Oh no! Remember the Acolyte that was slagging? He was slacking the entire time. He kept looking into trees, looking for squirrels, you know, trying to spot a deer, and was not mining. So Dopa missed out on a lot of gold. A huge amount of gold. Meanwhile, Obnoxious just keeps spamming Huntresses. We have 8 Huntresses on the field against 6 ghouls and 2 skeletons, but skeletons are weak. They're not gonna be able to carry this. Nova on the Huntresses, but there's so many of them. POTM hits level 2, gets the aura, so extra damage for the Huntresses as well. And still no 5th. Okay, finally, 5th Acolyte is mining. Goes for tier 3. Ooh, I don't know. If Obnoxious attacks. And look at it, it was an ambush. A midnight ambush. Made him think that he retreated, but instead he was just waiting. We have the glaive upgrade on the Huntresses. Well. Or is that... Actually, that might be built in right now. I think they always bounce. So never mind that, sorry. Okay, back and forth, back and forth. This is giving the undead player time, but I understand not wanting to dive the undead base. Although, with the tier 3 in production, the main building will not shoot. There are 2 towers, 2 Nerubians. I think I would like to see the bottom in front and shoot the Lich. Hero focus the Lich with the fire arrows. Ghouls engage the Huntresses. It's not a good fight at all. And look at this, these 3 ghouls focused fired the low Huntresses, ran past all of them and got themselves surrounded. Nova goes out a coil, but the Huntress lives with 7 HP. There's no army for Dopa, who is strapped for cash. No resources. Last gasp Nova gets 1 Huntress, but now the mana is out. And because there was no slaughterhouse, there is no statue. And no statue means no mana. Finally thinks about a slaughterhouse, but look, his base is so cramped. There's nowhere to build it but outside, so this is begging for a cancel. 5 huntresses are out. Now the glaive upgrade is in production, which will change their armor type from unarmored to heavy, which will turn them into a hard counter against fiends. And we also have glaives in production, because glaives don't need tier 3. Nice coil to weaken that huntress. Obnoxious should pull back and wait for the upgrade to pop in. Otherwise the huntresses are vulnerable. You see, every fiend hit that lands does huge damage. Something like 25% damage, I believe, with piercing against unarmored. Could be even more. I'm not actually entirely sure on my armor types in this case, but I know it's bonus damage, and that's enough. Okay, finally the upgrade is live. Now the armor type changed to heavy. Suddenly, instead of bonus damage, the fiends deal minus 10% damage. Or 10% less, I should say. Okay, Dopa still weathering the storm, slowly getting tools he needs. Did Obnoxious miss his opportunity? He's not creeping, standing around the map. That is very passive play. Meanwhile Dopa, despite all the pressure, he actually goes out and starts creeping. It's very well played by Dopa, making the right decision here to creep, level up his heroes. Look, Dopa still standing around, making an AP well out of range, so they will have to walk. He's clearly still thinking only in terms of aggression, looking to break the undead base. How many glaives? 2 glaives. Broke 50 supply. Does have a 16 pop advantage. He can establish himself in front of the undead base and keep pounding. Could yet bring this home. Dopa thinking about creeping his expansion. It is an easy camp, but he does only have 2 fiends, and more crucially, he does not have a TP scroll, so he will need to walk back. The huntresses run into the necropolis. What is this? Where did this come from? I did not see a TP scroll on the graphics here, on the overlay. It seems the overlay is wrong, because it's also not showing the dust. Okay, sorry about that. I was trolled by the overlay. Okay, the huntresses attack the fiends. Glaives focusing the necropolis. Okay, but we have statues, which means mana region for the undead heroes. They can start casting their spells. How far for a Nova? 30 mana. Death Knight goes down without a coil. Looks like more stuff beats less stuff, even without the APs. But left behind, there's just too much damage. And the Naga, excellent second hero for aggression, because her slowing arrows will let you control the enemy army. The necropolis goes down. The glaives were unchecked for a little bit and managed to take down the main building, and Dopa taps out. 2-1 victory for Moonjuice Moonshiners, with Obnoxious relentless aggression bearing the victory, bringing victory. GG's for both players.